earliest shit I have is 2012, and the only clip I have from Game Dude is the one where he's drunkenly asking people to sing his theme song with him. And I'm pretty sure that one's a very common clip at this point.
Oh yeah, Asa. So, are you fine if I record this, on the record? And
of course, yeah.
Well,
I'm an open book. Go ahead.
What would you like me or us to call you to? Just Asa?
Yeah, you can call me Asa. You can call me Eric. You can call me whatever you want.
I'm used to calling you Asa, so I'll probably do that.
Yeah, that's what most people online call me. So,
by the way, I'm a big fan. Just geek out a little bit.
It's nice to know anybody still remembers me.
Oh yeah, reviewing a reviewer and then like all the shit you did with Rob, that stuff was lit.
Yeah, believe it or not, without me, you guys wouldn't be here.
Oh yeah, I do believe it.
Oh no, I believe it. Yeah,
I was quite possibly the very first person to hence the reviewing a reviewer. Now now it's gone beyond reviewing reviewers. Now we just review YouTubers in general. But
yeah.
So I'm glad you guys took the torch and made it better than what we did. Our shit was cringier anyway.
And ours would be too, I'm sure, looking back. I know I'm already not proud of some of it.
June, one of these days you'll look back 10 years ahead from now and you'll be like, wow, I can't believe I did that in this video or this. It'll be a surreal experience for you.
That's already happened for like videos a year old on my channel. Like
wow.
Yeah, it's great though.
Yeah, it's funny because yesterday I was talking with Andrew because he had just gotten off the interview with you, and I was like, "How'd it go, buddy?" And he's like, "Yeah, they had a lot of fun with him." And I suddenly started going through my external hard drives here, and I have my folders dated by year, and the earliest folder is 2012. And I was looking at some of my videos, and those are already 11 years old, and I can't believe some of the shit I did even back then.
No, I definitely feel that. So yesterday's interview did run a little long, so I don't want to take too much of your time. How much time would you say you have?
Oh, take as much as you need. Although I am waiting for one phone call, so I might put you guys on mute for like 10 minutes while I deal with that. And
oh yeah, no, it's no problem. It's no problem. So how we did it yesterday, and it seemed to work pretty well, is we just kind of went through the timeline of Game Dude, you know what I mean? And you can just comment on what you remember and all your thoughts, pretty much.
Yeah, after talking with Andrew again, I was like, oh yeah, he did have a rich dad, but he wasn't a lawyer. He was a pharmacist. Owned his own pharmacy.
Oh, he owned it. I didn't know that. Okay, so we started.
He was able to employ his son at his pharmacy, and then it all came back to me. I'm like, oh yeah, he was rich, but it wasn't because he was a lawyer.
So Game Dude worked at his dad's pharmacy?
Correct.
Oh.
Well, the pharmacy's a No Frills, which is like a grocery store, so it might have not worked in the pharmacy department, but I don't know.
Cashier or something.
From what I understood, it was a pharmacy, but okay, yeah. I mean, you know better than I do there.
Yeah, I mean that's they're all over Vancouver, and they do have pharmacies in them, but yeah, I'm not sure which part of it.
So maybe what it was is that he worked specifically at the pharmacy in it.
Yeah, who knows? But
maybe his dad was the head pharmacist or something. All I know is they had money.
How do you guys come across that information?
That was just from talking with him on Skype, among many conversations that we had with the guy. I mean, we were very good at just getting the guy to talk, and he was very good at volunteering info.
So yeah, how did that?
He was super low. He was a nerd, sweetie. I mean,
how did that come about? Because I know that you did your video on him, and then he did his commentary on you, and then
man, I wish I could see those because he made 6 or 7 videos.
Oh, they're up on Game Dude Official again, so you can go check them out. I was watching them yesterday.
You're kidding. You mean the ones where he went after me?
Yeah, Asalieri. That's what he called you.
Asalieri. Oh my goodness. Yes.
Asalieri. Yeah, he is the first to call me Asalieri.
Yeah, I was watching those last night. They're hilarious.
Oh, I can't wait to see those. I remember laughing my ass off when I first saw those.
It's 9 parts. It's insane.
Yeah. Oh, so it's more than 6 parts. See, I see. That's how bad memory gets. I was like, it was 6 or 7 videos you made. There was a whole 9 videos. Yeah, yeah, I know. Game Dude doesn't even know that I ended up having a third kid.
All right, so starting mid 2008. Well, no, actually, this will help better. When did you first hear about Game Dude? If you could just like maybe a year.
I first heard about him probably
Yeah.
around the same time that I heard of. I mean, it's not like you hear about him. It's one of those, uh, much like you hear about any, let me ask you, how did you hear about the SSS sniper thing, for example, right? Like it just
Yeah,
you
just
just
social
yeah.
media.
Right, you just kind of get it, It's not like you hear it from one specific. I don't think anybody can. I certainly can't tell you where I heard from about SSS snipers being. All I know is that I know about it somehow through social media, and much like that, it's just the same principle. I can't tell you when I first heard about Game Dude. All I know is that my first video on him was way early in 2009. I want to say April, May 2009, probably.
Jade, and you were
Except
just
prior.
discovering Irate Gamer, and I think those
No, I wasn't just discovering Irate Gamer. Remember, I knew him for a good year before I started making my videos. But it's good that you bring up JD's pregnancy because right, but here's a fun fact, sweetie. Up until you were hospitalized, I had only done RARs on the boars. It was right after you had Jade that I started like diversifying and doing like Game Dude. So that yeah, so we're talking May or June then of 2000. Yeah, she was a preemie. She was in the hospital for a month, so I'm going to say best guess June. No, June, sweetie. 'Cause you got out of the hospital in April. And back then those videos took me a good month to make. So I was gonna say June of 2009. Final answer.
That's really precise, actually.
really against the Irate Gamer around.
Well, that's yeah. The reason I'm positive on that is because I know how long it took me to make a video, and I know that my first Game Dude video came right after I had my daughter. So.
Did you know about his what do you know, like his advertising on DigiPress?
That I don't know any of that. Andrew could probably answer that better than me. Digipress.
But
Yeah,
do you remember
so
him like advertising on Irate Gamer and AVGN's videos? Like you've seen the AVGN.
Yeah, that I do because back in the day you were able to respond to people's videos with a video, and
Right.
you were able to link them to them. Man, I wish they'd bring that feature back. YouTube would be so much more fun if they brought that back. Yeah, it's crazy. Instead of giving us features, YouTube's been just slowly deleting features. We used to have, private messages, for example. You don't have that anymore.
We used to have a friends list too.
Yeah, we used to have friends lists. You used to be able to vote on a scale of 1 to 5. Then they simplified it to thumbs up, thumbs down, and then they took that away from us. It's like,
Well, they took half of it away.
and now they took so much away from us. You can't even say words like cannabis. Like I'm starting to see words like cannabis. You can't say sex. You can't say pedo. You can't say cannabis. You can't say weed.
First two advertisers.
Yeah, right. But now it's like every other video, it's all like, and the man was very, and then he went to the, and he unalived himself. Yes.
Oh yeah, I have to do that. That's a pain in the ass.
Fuck YouTube, like.
Yeah.
People in real life talking like that.
Yeah, we're
Because I hear people talk on YouTube. It's insane. Here, baby.
I'm a victim of harassment.
Well, speaking of like removed features, right? I assume you guys met through messages first because I remember seeing some of those archived messages, and he came across like really aggressive.
Well, to be fair, I probably came off as aggressive to him too. But my first interaction with him was after he commented on my very first video on him. And then I asked him to take it to PMs, and in PMs we kind of just wailed on each other.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. He said he was going to edit your ED article, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, which is funny because it turns out that it wasn't Game Dude at all.
It wasn't Game Dude messaging you?
No. It wasn't Game Dude that messed with my ED article.
Oh, okay. He just threatened that.
He just threatened that. Turned out in the long run that it was Larry Bundy who had messed with my article all along.
Oh, that makes sense, actually.
Yeah, I have a screenshot of Larry Bundy admitting to it. I have a screenshot. It was in my thing. Oh, I know. He's an asshole. He's always been he.
Realize how bad of a person.
Oh, dude, Larry Bundy's a sociopath. He's a total sociopath. Because Sam is a nice guy. That's why. Sam's friends with everybody. That's why.
Dang, what did Larry not do on ED? Because he also did that guy with the glasses stuff. And like,
oh yeah, half of the that guy with the glasses stuff was written by Larry. But Larry's, it's crazy because back in the day, I remember saving Larry's ass. Like when Screw Attack got dissolved and they threatened to take down Screw Attack Europe, I was among the first people he asked to help bring his new channel up, and I did that. I actually networked for the guy. I'm like, yeah, no problem. And he paid me back, by getting my as much personal shit that he could dig up on me and just wrote it up on ED. That's what he did with.
Well, on the topic of ED, what did I know the Game Dude didn't like it, but what did he tell you if he ever said anything at all about his ED article?
He really hated his ED article, and it's funny because ED used to separate the people who got less than 5,000 subs from the people who got more, and they're like these are lesser reviewers, and his name used to be on the lesser reviewers side. When he got moved to the 5,000 or more side and got his own page, oh no, he hated it. Like he's like, oh, all these people are writing about me and they don't know anything, and like
it's kind of funny because in the Game Deals interview, he's like, oh, I find it funny, and then like 5 seconds later, he's like, oh, I tried to take everything down multiple times. It's like, well, what one is it?
He's very bipolar. Like we're talking, he'd be laughing all fun and games one moment, and then you'd like trigger him somehow, like. And guys like Jim, me, Andrew, I mean, we were really good at pressing his buttons, so we'd get him to hang up so many times. And it's funny because sometimes he'd hang up on us, and then he'd like call us an hour later, and he'd be back in our chat again. So I think he just couldn't not be. He really liked the attention in a weird way.
Yeah, I can imagine him coming back an hour later and he's just like, let me clarify a few things. And...
Yeah, exactly. No, you have it all wrong. That's not what I meant to say.
I like your impersonation.
Yeah, I perfected it.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's the one from the reviewing a reviewer.
Yeah. Give me a second. I got to come back.
Oh yeah, no problem.
I am back.
Welcome back.
All right, perfect.
All right.
So you were saying before that you knew how to push his buttons.
Oh yeah.
So how
all
do you
of
do
us
that?
did. All of us in big chat pressed his button. Oh, Ashton, really? I get back on the phone. You start crying, little guy. Yeah, all of us at big chat. Like, we had this a steady stream of guys we invited into our chat specifically so that we could just rip on them.
But what would get him like the most angry?
What would get him the most angry is literally me doing the imitation of him.
That's it. Wow.
There are times he would say something like well, I tried to kiss Selena today, and I'm like, oh, and then I beat her and I slapped her a couple of times. He's like, no, I didn't do that.
So how do you I know? Okay, so you guys started off. Well, you made a video on him. You guys messaged back and forth. How did that progress into Skype and becoming, like, I guess, more so friends?
Yeah, that was like later on. Like we're talking by 2011, he stopped being like the in thing to talk about, I guess. And his because after a while, obviously a topic just dies down, and Game Dude died down pretty quickly. I'd say by 2010, nobody was like actively making videos on him anymore. They were just kind of a video here and there. Whereas in 2009, he was like a very popular guy to talk about. But yeah, I'd like to say by end of 2010. Oh yeah, it would be somewhere in 2010 because it was right around the time I was doing the RAR on this one guy who doesn't exist anymore, who hated fighting games. And I got a bunch of YouTubers from the time to say fighting games kick ass. And I remember through our conversations that I had his Skype info, obviously, because he was in our big chats. And yeah, and I just called him and say, "Hey, can you record a line for me?" And he's like, "What's this for?" Blah blah blah. And I guess from there we kind of turned it into a more cordial relationship rather than one of troll and troll and lolcow, you know.
Yeah, it was kind of like after the whole like conflict, you guys.
Yeah, after the whole conflict. Yeah, it was
Oh.
definitely by 2010. So 1 year after.
I know Pelswick talked to him bi-yearly. How often did you speak to Game Dude on Skype?
About the same as Andrew did, yeah.
Okay. Did Game Dude ever mention his film school or acting school?
We didn't talk a lot about that, but yeah, it was part of his dream, so yeah.
His dream. So did he speak about like becoming an actor like personally to you?
Oh no, he was strictly about wanting to be a director, kind of behind the camera, that kind of thing. He wasn't really so much into being in front of the camera. He wanted to learn the art of making movies rather than being in them, if that makes any sense.
That's interesting because like the character of Game Dude is just him in front of the camera. So for
Yeah.
him, like yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't act. That's literally just him being as silly as he can be.
Yeah.
But if you see him act, he really did kind of act like that. I mean, just look at some of those clips. You can hardly tell the character from the person because they're almost indistinguishable from one another. He's just an awkward, nerdy guy.
That's interesting because, like, in his mind, at least through another interview that he did, he said that the character of Game Dude is so much different from Alexander.
It's not. And you can pretty much see that it's not. I mean, just there's this one video where he's playing with dinosaurs, and I swear to God, that's him. That's what you see is what you get. like maybe Andrew could. I don't know if Andrew still has the video.
Oh no, I've seen the entire 2 hours. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, so you know what I'm talking about?
I know.
He's like sitting there, like role playing his relationship, playing with dinosaurs. Now you compare that to his Game Dude videos and tell me you see a big difference there. You don't.
No, not really.
It's the same guy. That's him.
It's also the vlogs and everything he would just like film when he was like walking around. It's like, yeah it's very, I guess the more that you kind of, I don't know if he had a good sort of like line that he drew between the character and himself. I think he tried to draw one, but I don't think it was a very strong line.
Right. I mean, he would tell people that he's playing a character, but if you really evaluate that and just look at it and compare it to what we know is his normal self, you're like, yeah, there's no difference, guy. You're not playing a character. You're just playing yourself with weird lines. That's it.
Yeah, so on the
which is funny because the lines that he's speaking aren't that much different from the way he talked. I mean, he didn't say he didn't. I mean, in our conversations, he never said like, "Esau, this is a big plate of donkey dicks." No, I mean, he didn't say that kind of shit, but that was just his impression of.
But if you like look at like the video where he's chasing the cop car, he's just like, "Come on, you little fuck nugget." It's like, okay, you're just doing like AVGN-isms.
Yeah, exactly. He talks like that. Like that's. So for him to say that he's playing a character, I beg to differ.
So Do you know if that Twitter was actually his? The only like the game dude Twitter account? Because no one seems to know if like how legit that is.
The Alexander 4488 stuff was his. Game Dude official is actually Andrew. So,
Oh no, I mean the Twitter account.
the Twitter account. The specific the one that's. Give me a screenshot or something.
Yeah, I'll give you a link. I'll go to Twitter and get it.
Yeah. I want to make sure that we're talking about the same thing here. Hell the Great, last message.
I got it right here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that one. As far as I know, that was him. Yeah, the Alexander 4488.
Okay, wow.
I'm now featured at Control Freaks.
Did he mention this Twitter to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this one, as far as I know, was legit him. Replies, posts. Yeah, he hasn't touched this Twitter in a long time, though. Wow.
He has the likes, but yeah, he hasn't really said too much. I think the most recent activity was in 2021 or something.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he liked a tweet from someone. The last thing he ever posted, I think, is in replies, and it's to LeBron James about Hong Kong or something.
Yeah, best of luck, my guy. Oh, wow. Wow, he's really good at he's really good at staying under the radar. Then again, look, he went from March 9, 2010 to October 17, 2019. So he's really good at staying under the radar then.
Yeah, it's surprisingly.
Yeah, if anything, it proves that some people can learn from. Even I haven't learned the lessons he learned. Then, if he's so zen that he's able to limit his online presence, then more power to him.
Yeah, it's the best way to, like, I guess, end the Game Dude saga.
Yeah,
but
that means he got the happy ending. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
How many of us can really say that? He got the good ending.
So now I'm gonna go into like his relationships with other creators, and first we're starting with the irate gamer.
Yeah, he saw the irate gamer as pretty much the same way everybody else did, as a AVGN plagiarist. But it's funny because Game Dude had no self-awareness and he didn't realize that he was doing the same exact shit.
I remember like there was a video of him talking to Chris Boers allegedly on Facebook. Do you know like how legitimate that was?
As far as I know, it was a one comment and go thing. They never really like. I mean, I'm friends with Boers, so I mean.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
They reached out to me.
Yeah, Chris Boers even reached out to you.
I'm gonna have to get into contact with them too.
Yeah, I mean, I can get you into contact with him if you need.
Oh yeah, sure. That'd be very helpful. Just like understand their relationship better.
You know, for all the shit we gave him back in the day, he's a great guy.
That's what I.
Oh yeah. A lot of these creators are.
I never thought, back in 2009 when I made fun of him and made videos against him, that I would eventually be fast friends with a guy and realize that I actually like this guy.
He seems to have mended most of his relationships, even with like James and stuff like that. So.
He even ended up making a video with James. I mean, I don't know of anyone more peace-minded than Irate Gamer.
It's funny because like I feel like a lot of creators are like that, but there's always one that stands out, and that's Mike Matei. He always seems to be.
He's a douchebag.
Yeah,
Mike Matei was a douche from the. I mean, he threatened to take my channel down when I decided to start making videos against AVGN.
Really? Was it the AVGN account, or was it just like Mike?
Yeah, through he emailed me as Mike Matei. That's why I knew it was him and it wasn't James. But yeah, he's like he gave me his own version of a cease and desist, like stop using AVGN's content or else. The or else never came. I think it's just I dropped off the map and I stopped being, I stopped being a threat to anybody. So
Did the Game Dude in your conversations ever talk about Mike Matei?
Not that I remember.
What about
Yeah.
James Rolfe?
All the time. He was.
Really?
If you wanted to know a fanboy of AVGN, fucking Alex was a super fanboy of the AVGN. He couldn't get enough of his shit. But I guess that's why he wanted to emulate him. That's
So
why
yeah.
in one video I made fun of him. I was like, yeah, something to the tune of you know, I have his autographed DVD set, and I don't even remember the jokes I did, but
So even in your private conversations, he would talk about the AVGN to you.
man, he was a huge fucking fanboy.
I mean, like also around like this time, like 2010, so like still in conflict, right? He's still getting a little bit trolled, but things are kind of dying down, right?
Right. Yeah. Even then, he was a diehard fan to the end. I mean, as far as I remember, I think he. Now I'm not sure here, but I'm pretty sure that he got something autographed from the nerd, and it was like, you know, heaven to him.
Yeah, he did. I watched that video yesterday. He
Oh,
posted
okay.
him like reading all the letters that he got from James, and then James
Oh, okay,
signed
so
something
yeah,
for him.
okay, so I am remembering it correctly then. Yeah. So, but yeah, he was.
Now for something like a bit more, well, it must have been quite shocking to see that one forum post where he was using the TLC Tugger, if you recall that.
Oh, we trolled him mercilessly on Big Chat about that.
So Andrew said that at first, like Alex denied that entirely.
Yep, he denied
And
it entirely, and then I don't remember which one of us was it that went out of our way to prove that was him, and then we caught him in the lie, and then he's like, "Okay, yes, that's me," but don't you? I couldn't even remember which one of us caught him in the lie. All I know is it wasn't me.
Did he ever like talk about that randomly, like anything relating to that randomly? Even with the
Oh no. That's a topic he would never bring up. We would bring that up, and then he'd try to like weasel his way out of it. Yeah, that was a very sensitive topipic to him.
Well, apparently, he got more open to talking about it since he put it in like a bunch of his videos later on. So,
oh yeah, but at first, yeah, he was very self-conscious about that.
What about that Burger King commercial with the fursuit?
Okay, I don't know anything about that. All I know is when I saw that video, I laughed my ass off.
And oh yeah. So like you being in the community, you must have like known a lot of more people like making videos on Game Dude. Did you ever speak to Paul Van Hindenburg?
Paul Van Hindenburg.
He's the one who made like a 36-part animation on Game Dude.
Oh shit, that rings a bell, but I can't recall anything right now. But the name rings a huge bell, and I don't know why.
I can link you to his channel. Let me just go ahead and find that.
That sounds like one of the people I would know through Big Chat.
and he did have an interview with Alexander at one point, and Alana was in the background in that interview.
Oh. Andrew and I went to Elena's because she became a writer or something, and we found something weird in one of her video comments that was like, "I'm gonna get you, you bitch," and we're like, is that Alex? Did Alex type that, or is that a troll passing himself off?
Oh, I actually might be. I think I know what you're talking about. Is that on the interview that came out recently?
And there's like one comment that looks that it looks either him or like he tried to.
Yeah, that's a troll. Like that's a guy who comments on a bunch of my videos pretending to be Alex.
Oh, okay, so it's not really. Yeah, I was like,
it's like Bowser Bomb 36.
He never gave us the impression that that after that this many years later he'd be writing that shit.
Yeah, that's just a guy who's been he's been trying to mess with me. But...
Okay, so never mind then.
So there's still like trolls active to this day.
It's not even like I wouldn't even classify them as trolls. I think it's just people trying to see, hey, will anybody remember this? And if they will, are they going to try to?
Oh, like a reference.
If anything, I think this guy's my troll, not necessarily Alex's troll.
Yeah, because you became the foremost expert on
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, that
Yeah, I'm
guy's
sorry I
popped up in a
couldn't dig
bunch of my
out that.
stream.
I'm sorry I couldn't dig that out for you. I'm sorry. Yeah, Paul this guy appeared in my Punchdikia video.
All right.
Yeah, he's in my Punchdikia video. I remember him now. I just couldn't remember. I knew the name rang a bell. Yeah, he was a cameo in Punchdikia.
Really?
Yeah. You'll see at the very end of my Punchdikia video. You'll see.
Have you seen Punchdikia, June?
I have not.
Okay, I'll put that in the...
That's part of my cringe history.
Game Dude's in that video for a second too, I remember.
Yeah. So
that's the Punchdikia is the only proof left that I ever hanged out with Alexander. Mainly because of that one cameo he did for me where he goes what was the line? I believe in Easter Beavis. I remember Easter Beavis.
Yes. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it was just that Punchdikia is the only video left where you would know I ever had an interaction with Game Dude.
Whatever happened to the Game Boob? Because he was in this video and he parodied Alex, and then I remember Alex made a video about him.
Yeah, Game Boob ended up getting married, divorced, and much like Game Dude, he got offline practically. He has a Twitter over there. We've spoken recently. Matter of fact, oh shit, my old Twitter, unfortunately. Yeah, my Twitter account got yeeted not too long ago, like a month ago. So fuck. All my messages with Game Boo would have been there. Fuck. Thanks, Twitter.
The website formerly known as Twitter.
It's still Twitter. You can call it X all you want, but nobody calls it X.
Yeah, I still call it Twitter.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, see?
So that definitely became a pattern, right? So Paul Van Hindenburg also
he made all these. I even helped him make some of these animations. Fuck, one of these I'm pretty sure has my voice in them. One of these because he made these in there was this website oh god. There's this website that did like little shitty cartoons, and all you had to do.
Right, no, it links to it at the end. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but that website on one of these, we erased the voices, and I voiced some of the characters in one of these. I'd have to go through them though.
So from there, like I besides the trolls, I want to go into like in our private conversation, we were talking about his constant re-uploads and why he could possibly be doing that, right?
Yeah, well, it's simple. Anytime someone pointed out a mistake or something that he said that was funny, funny in a way he didn't intend, of course, or any mistake he made, anything that he got wrong, any fact that he might have stepped on. If he found out about it and watched the video that had the critique on it, suddenly a few days later that critique would be gone from his original video, and thus the net effect of that was that his videos started getting shorter and shorter and shorter, till what used to be 15-minute videos ended up being like little 1-minute blurbs.
Did he ever talk about like the criteria or like him actually picking up comments?
What do you mean?
As in, like people people's pointing things out, and then him being okay, this comment has no traction behind it, but I'll remove it anyways.
Oh no! It was literally he just you would know what part that if you were in 2009, if you were an avid watcher of his videos, like so many of us were, because obviously to make fun of him, you have to know his content. Uh, it was one of those, you knew what the video looked like before, and you would notice the change, and then you'd put two and two together when you saw X person's review, and you're like, oh, he pointed this out. Oh, that part got taken out of his video. How convenient.
Oh, okay. So it was like the critics, the video, like people making fun of him, like through video forms, and then he would react to it by just changing it immediately. And
Yeah,
I'm
or
sure that brought him,
deleting
like,
it all together so that he could have plausible deniability, I guess. Which doesn't work if someone is literally using your clip in their video to make fun of you. So you can't say you never made it because the clip is there. You just all you did was delete that clip.
yeah, like he like a few people has a severe, like he has a terrible reaction to anyone making fun of him in like ways unintended.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and that was part of that was part of what made more people do more shit on him. It's the Streisand effect, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
the
it's
more
a feedback loop.
the more you want people to not do it, and the more you let them know that you don't want them to do it, obviously the more they'll do it. So
Over the course of you knowing him, did that get better for him? Like, as in, did he improve as a person, or was it getting worse?
I would say he stayed the same. It's just he stopped making videos.
Right.
I
And
don't. I would say that during the course of our speaking with him, that he got better as a person. If anything, and Andrew probably would agree with me here. Is we saw kind of a dark side of him arise somewhere circa late 2012, early 2013, back when his breakup started affecting him really hard. That he started becoming like a little bit more like angry and more like jittery, violent, and such. You know.
how would he, like, would he shout, or what are some specific
Yeah,
examples?
like just outbursts. You know. Shit. You'd have to ask Andrew more on that because he shit. I mean, Andrew even has like his. I think he still has like the arrest papers and all that shit. Like,
Oh yeah, we got that from him.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, he's a treasure trove of info. But
That he is.
yeah, I distinctly remember we started noticing like if anything. A little bit of darkness there, and then he just kind of disappeared off the map after a while, and then we couldn't even contact him on Skype anymore. I would say by 2015 he was just nowhere to be found, gone, just completely gone.
Yeah, with what Andrew said is that like when he talked to Game Dude, like sometimes he'd talk about his videos and sometimes he'd just like shoot the breeze and stuff like that. But I'm assuming as like, you know, the breakup started happening, I'm assuming that's all he ever wanted to talk about on Skype. If I'm
Yep, and it would get pretty dark sometimes. Like you know, maybe I should go up to her house. Like she's spreading all these lies and
Whoa.
and yeah, and we literally like legit. We tried to, because at first, you know, obviously, hey, it's funny. Let's rib him a little bit, you know. But after a while, we just got uncomfortable with that because when we saw that it was no longer lulzy and it was more kind of creepy, we're like, hey, dude, don't stalk her, dude. Don't go to her house, dude. Don't do that. Whatever you're thinking, just don't do that, man. Like,
Yeah,
dude, you're gonna get in trouble. No, it doesn't matter because I'm gonna go to Mexico soon. I'm like, no, dude. Seriously, you don't want to do that. Like, do not want to go bother her. Because I think she got with like another dude, and he was a super jealous guy, and she was obviously his first. So yeah, I really hope that he. Yeah, and like I said, he was an awkward, nerdy guy. So I mean, the breakup was not easy on him. There's a reason she ended up getting a restraining order on him. Oh yeah. Matter of fact, I don't even know if he presented himself in court. I think maybe he didn't even show up.
so in one of the videos he says, like they did go to court, but allegedly Alana ran out crying, so the court case was thrown out. And the thing that made it like much more like insane was he was frustrated that it was thrown out because he couldn't give his part of the story.
Yeah. Um, I mean, think about it logically, right? Like you're in a courtroom setting. Do you really think the court's just going to adjourn? I don't know. I mean, I wasn't there, obviously. This was in Canada, so.
Right.
Uh, but I just can't imagine that the judge would. First of all, just like I mean, they'd probably ask the guards at the door to bring. Please, can you bring her back in? We need to finish this. I don't think if she just runs out of court crying that suddenly okay, well everybody, court adjourned, we're done. So
Yeah.
it
that,
just
that was
doesn't.
through Alexander, so it
Yeah,
sounds
that
pretty
doesn't
reliable.
make sense to me. That to me that seems like kind of sus, you know. I don't know a court in the world where a a uh, where a plaintiff runs out of court and they're like, well, the plaintiff ran, so we're gonna yeah no they'd most likely ask a guard to bring her back in, end the proceedings, and yeah, I don't think I don't think it went down the way Game Dude said it went down, but what do I know?
Yeah, he does tell quite a lot of stories. I mean, a lot of like this is just through his eyes because I mean
Yeah,
we don't really
but
have much to go on.
again, we're talking about a very nerdy, awkward, possibly autistic. I mean, yeah.
Possibly paranoid too. I remember that
Remember,
was the
remember
element.
talking with Game Dude that I think you yourself were the ones that told me that you thought he might have had a little bit of autism. Yeah, it was you that pointed that out. I mean, I'm not going to diagnose him, but being the father of two autistic children, I know what to look for, and believe you me, his awkwardness definitely fits the bill.
Hmm. I mean, I believe it. There's something definitely different about Alexander.
Oh yeah, he is quite the character.
Could you expand because we also talked about him on Skype and how he didn't want to join your larger group chats, even though you promised not to record.
Yeah, yeah. Even when because I mean, let's face it, we had a bad reputation after a while. Many people at the time knew that we recorded our calls because we had literally like put full calls on our channels, for everybody to listen to. So it's not like it was unlikely that we would record him, but we tried giving him as many assurances as possible. But as soon as there were more than like 5 or 6 people in a call, you'd suddenly start seeing him stop talking as much, and then he just
Ah,
removed himself entirely.
Oh.
And sometimes, yeah, he would private message me or Andrew. We were the two he talked to the most, and he'd be like, "Can we talk? I want to talk about this."
Was he aware that Andrew was the one behind Game Dude Official?
No, he never knew.
oh wow.
I think even Andrew tried to tell him, "Hey, I am GDO," and I think he tried to be serious with him, and he didn't believe him or some shit like that. But Andrew was probably a better, more reliable source for that. But I think he could actually tell him that he was GDO, and he wouldn't believe him. God, now I want to see those videos again. That'll bring a tear to my eye.
Yeah.
You also mentioned that Alexander personally was ravenous for advice, but he would never take it.
Yeah, yeah, that's the crazy thing. He'd always be like, "Hey, I'm having problems with Elena. Can you like, what do I do? Should I send her flowers or should I go get her some chocolates or like that's how he thought, like
That's-
right. That's in his mind how he felt. Hey, I soothe things by getting girls like chocolate and flowers, don't. Yeah, because every movie tells me to give a girl chocolate and flowers, right? No, he didn't get to know her. No, no.
I
I mean,
remember.
you're talking about
doing a bad job.
yeah.
Did he ever like talk about the early days of him and Lana?
Well, that's the thing is, as far as I remember, it wasn't even a long courtship. It was like they were together for maybe a year at best, and then she just got tired of him.
What about
Yeah.
the early issues? Because I know like he talks about like a lot of like the later stuff, but like rarely about like.
If you heard him talk, you could tell that he was jealous and possessive, and she probably got sick of that.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't, right? I mean, he was a lot to deal with.
Oh yeah, I mean, not only, I mean, can you imagine you're dating the guy and he's not only a jealous and possessive guy, but he's also this awkward guy who has very few social graces, and you're in like a fancy restaurant and he's acting up or some shit. Like I can imagine something must have happened that made her go, shit, this is a bad idea. I need to get it. I need to get with someone else.
So was that like I guess sudden because you're talking about him like going into like a bit more of a like darkness. So was it just like one call where he was like Alana this, Alana that, and they're like, whoa, 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 this is much different.
Yeah, I mean that's when we knew that he was having like breakup issues because he started bringing her up way more in calls. Because at first it used to be about him and about his stuff, and hey, dude, this is something lulzy you said. You know, what did you mean by this? Hey, and well, that's why he would ask me because I was married to you. So you know, he's like, well, if anybody knows is this married guy, how do I get back? How do I win back Elena's heart? You know,
If we broke up,
Yeah.
we would have been broken up forever.
right?
Like, once you break up, that's it, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, once he made every single conversation about his relationship with Elena, we knew things were going really south for the guy.
So whenever you give him a piece of advice, right? Like I know he didn't take it, but how would he react? Like how would he just deflect it?
Well, it depends on the advice because at first it was benign shit, right? Like, hey, you should say nice things to her. You should take her to a nice restaurant and just chill, or you know, just dumb everyday shit. But then when it turned to how do I win her back, right? And then how do I, you know, how do I tell her I'm sorry? You know, yeah, I accidentally shoved her. What do I do? She's angry at me. And like, what do you mean? You shoved her? What? And that kind of shit, you know?
And to me, it seems like he just wanted someone to agree with him. He wasn't really seeking the advice.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as soon as it was something like, hey, like during the breakup, when we're like, dude, you should just let her go and just let her be with the other guy, and if she loves you, she'll come back to you. You know, that kind of generic advice. And then he'd be like, no, I need to get back with her. You know, that sort of thing. Like, he was desperate to get back with her. And we're like, dude, she's just your first love, man. You know, there's plenty of fish in the sea, all that shit. And nah, none of that. In one ear, out the other. He was going to have her, or he was going to have nothing.
Wait, so with another guy, would she talk about, like, would he talk about Alana's new boyfriend at all? Besides that?
No. Surprisingly not. The only thing he'd talk about was her and the fact that she was with a different guy. But he never really like, yeah, that guy's like an asshole, or no, nothing like that. He was really hyper fixated on her specifically.
And what about Sam, his alleged new girlfriend that no one can really verify?
Yeah. The fact that he had yeah, the fact that he didn't he couldn't really describe her all that well tells you everything you need to know right there.
I'm assuming he probably like went on a date, but that was about it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, if we're being generous, maybe he went on Tinder or something, found a one night stand, but I doubt it.
Yeah, that's about as much credit as I can really give.
Yeah, because he could never describe her. He could never tell us, specifics about her. Like, nah, dude, there's no way. Because with Elena, like, he could, if you asked him to describe Elena, right? He could give you a photographic description of every single, like, where every mole is on her fucking body. Now ask him about Samantha. Yeah. I call bullshit. But I mean, this was many years ago, so who knows? I really hope he got the happy ending. Matter of fact, I'm hoping that you dug up something and found out that you had a happy ending. That'll be the best thing to hear.
Yeah, so sadly, there's been nothing. There's been no breadcrumbs.
Like I said, the guy's really good at staying offline, so he became super zen about the internet, I guess.
Well, on the topic
maybe he got a therapist. I mean, I don't know.
So, still in like the peak of the insanity, what was your first, like, what was your initial reaction, right, to seeing that 2 hour long dinosaur video?
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? That fucking video. I think our first reaction was, just that jaw dropping. Holy shit!
That was exactly my reaction too, by the way.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I think that's always going to be the initial reaction, and then after you see it a couple times, you're like, dude, look at this thing he said here. Look at this. Holy shit! The dinosaurs, dude. Dude, he lost his shit.
Yeah, like, I don't know. My whenever I saw that, like, what I see, right, is I see like what a child would do
Yeah,
playing
but
with dolls.
you see a desperate guy there. My guess is he just he just must have had an awkward childhood. You know what I mean? Like he never quite grew up until, who knows, probably until he saw a therapist, I guess. This is now just conjecture at this point, but
No, it's fine. I like these sort of things because you talk to him personally. So if there's anyone that can like speak about how Alexander was, it'd be you. Really.
yeah, he was an awkward guy, and there's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. And if you compared the way he talked to us to his videos, you'd barely see a difference. So, I mean, he's just super awkward. And I think he thought in his mind that was, cool or some shit. Like, hey, this is definitely going down with the guys. I'm cool, right?
It's kind of funny though, because I heard that his roommate was the one that suggested he made the dinosaur video. So it's like, here you are giving him advice like, oh, there's plenty of fish in the sea, move on. That doesn't register with him. But hey, why don't you make a dinosaur video reenacting your relationship? That resonates with him.
If it was a roommate that asked them, then I would suggest to you that the roommate was a dick.
Apparently he was, because apparently he ran away because his roommate assaulted him after that. So
okay, his roommate was probably just fucking with him.
Yeah.
His roommate probably literally just wanted to see exactly what we saw.
Yeah, he got what he wanted.
Yeah, he got what he wanted. I think, like I said, it was so easy to convince him to do lulzy, stupid shit, but you couldn't convince him to just be normal with Elena. Like, how can you convince him to do, what we would call cringe shit, but you can't convince him to do something normal? It's because that's all he knows. I think YouTube is legitimately fucked some people in the head to where they think normal is cringe and cringe is normal.
Absolutely. I mean, Chris Chan's an
being
example.
A big fan. He was like seeing how he was so obsessed about being a reviewer, right? Getting that status and not understanding like the tongue in cheek of it all. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, there's no way he understood subtext. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
Like,
So, go ahead.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's it.
So right now I'm gonna go through Alexander's recounting of the events, right? And you can comment on it, like maybe what you remember. But
Yeah.
essentially, I'm gonna go through his story of him with Lana, and I'm gonna pretty much like this is all cited through the dinosaur video.
What a great video to cite too.
Right.
It's one of the 4 options he left.
Yeah.
And the reason I find it somewhat accurate, at least through his recollection, is because he also recounts it the same way, like the story the same way in his Mai Tai confession video. He tells like as it progresses as well, the same way.
Yeah, only he sounds more normal in one of them and more unhinged in the other.
Right. So starting off, they were in an open relationship, as he stated, and they were in a club where he spots Alana dancing with another guy. He gets a bit angry, goes up to her and asks, like, hey, what are you doing? I thought we can dance. And at some point, he starts crying and gets kicked out, like, by the bouncers.
Yeah, that sounds like something that would happen.
Right. And
although
there,
probably didn't happen the way he said it.
likely not, no. And,
Well, yeah, I would just want to say in the court documents, Alana has her own side of that story too. So you
Yep, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that it didn't go down quite the way he says. He's an unreliable narrator of his own. So this is like when you ask the game dude to describe his story, you always got to think like like Joaquin Phoenix and the Joker, you know? Like, you don't know exactly how much of this is reliable narrative and how much is just the Joker talking about the Joker, you know?
Yeah.
Oh no, definitely not. I still have to like cross-reference the court documents to get like an accurate retelling. But this is just like what he might have told you.
Yeah. Yeah, as far as what he told us, that's pretty much the same version I know. That. Yep.
And from there, he is really flustered. He's angry. He's mad. He's not happy. So a
Easy
few
for
hours,
him.
yeah, and a few hours pass, and so he goes to Alana's place of residence. He jumps her, like, I think, backyard gate or something, and knocks on her door until she comes out. She allegedly apologizes, where they go to their room and they're about to have like sex until her mom interrupts him, which he is very displeased about, and then he leaves.
Does that sound like it happened like
No.
that?
No, it doesn't.
I mean, just hearing it, you're going, oh, there's something weird about this story.
Oh yeah, entirely.
I mean, mistake number one is just going to her house in general. I mean, you literally just shoved her at a party or at a dance or something, because that's pretty much what I imagine happened. He saw this other guy and said, and yeah, he's the type to shove her instead of shove the guy, right? Like, what are you doing? Why are you dancing with him?
And from here, well, what happens afterwards is it intensifies in a really weird way, and that's a Sheepman conversation.
Yeah.
Did you ever like talk to Sheepman by chance, or knew who he was?
No, Sheepman does that one. I don't recall there. Sorry.
Oh, do you remember what Sheepman did though?
I'm not. You're gonna have to refresh my mind, but I'll probably be like, oh, that. Yeah.
So Alexander linked his tag profile on his YouTube, which was the way, like it was like the Tinder of the time, right?
Yeah.
And because I guess he was having issues with Alana, so he wanted to be like, oh, look, I'm looking for options. So he thought it was a good idea to link his profile.
Yeah, and be like, hey, look how cool of a swinger I am.
Exactly. So he links that, some like a troll finds it, clicks on it, finds that Alana is his only friend, because I guess you can have friends on that website. And he reaches out to her through Facebook and starts a conversation, being like, hey, like it's literally like this. It's like, hey, babe, I want to get coffee. And she's like, oh, I don't know you really, but maybe. It's like, we can have sex afterwards. And she responds like, maybe if you're a nice guy. It's like,
yeah, it's very
much like that. Yeah, it's very strange.
Yikes! Yeah, that's the kind of shit that Game Dude would probably be like, "No, what are you doing?"
That's exactly how he reacted, because Sheepman sent those messages to the Game Dude, right? And he freaked out because they planned to do it.
Out of their way to fuck with him. I mean, now I'm starting to realize just the extent, because some people just knew how to fuck with him. Because I doubt I doubt someone's that horny that they're going to start the conversation like that, but they know that if they write that, the Game Dude's definitely going to react. So, Jesus Christ.
And he did. And he did.
React he did.
It was very easy to rile him up. That's all I'm going to say. There's no way that was real.
Well, I think it was in her testament that it was, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, the guy was a troll, but, like, they didn't...
Did she actually go to have the coffee with Sheepman?
She did.
Though?
No, but Sheepman didn't show up, though, because he was a troll.
So she didn't show up?
No, she did. Sheepman did not.
But, yeah, what Sheepman did is that he messaged them...
See, I'm telling you, some people would go to great lengths to troll people back in the... I mean, you're talking about an era, right? Where Anonymous managed to get, and I was online when this shit happened, where they got freaking Oprah Winfrey to say 9,000 penises. That's how far fucking trolls went back in the day. We would do anything and everything. I remember this one event on 4chan. I don't know, like a business convention or some shit. I don't even remember, like 2012 or 2013 or something. But they had these screens, and they had this hashtag going, was like the name of the business convention, and some dude at that convention posted the hey guys, there's these screens at this convention. Send me all the fucking Hitler porn and Rule 34 you can, and we're gonna flood the screens with it. That's the kind of shit we did back in the day.
Oh yeah, no, that still happens now. That's like still a very common occurrence.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that someone was fucked up enough to try to get Game Dude.
But he was very successful in what he did, because he sent that conversation to Game Dude, right, and with the location included. So Game Dude confronted Alana at that Starbucks where they
even though there was no guy in sight. Oh,
there was no, yeah, she was just sitting alone waiting for that guy, and then he really
who are you waiting for? Elena, who are you waiting for?
Exactly. No, he printed out the conversation. He printed it out.
Yeah. I'm just imagining him confronting her like, "What are you doing here?"
Exactly. Apparently what happened is he dropped the conversation. He's like, this ends our friendship, and then he walked away, and then a few hours later he started calling her over and over again.
I'm guessing that's where the famous shove happened.
Somewhere around there, because the police were contacted for the first time there.
Right. If the police were involved, that's where he probably got violent. And that's just yeesh.
Violent. So did he ever talk about the shove? I hear you bringing that up a bit.
Yeah. He talked about. Well, you would always try to minimize it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no, I didn't mean to hit her. I didn't want to hurt her. I was just angry. That sort of thing. But yeah, there was definitely a shove involved. That's the most I know violence wise that happened. I hope nothing went past a shove. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even a shove is already a bad thing, but
Yeah, I remember he was talking about because there was domestic violence charges apparently brought up, but apparently it's oh, all I did was hug her, and it's so it's what she did was worse. She used to punch me, she used to bite me, and all I did was hug her.
Yeah, he claimed that she was violent with him, but I don't know, man. You look at Elena and she's kind of lanky and shit, and I don't know. I just can't imagine her being the violent type. I mean, yeah, there are crazy chicks on this planet, no doubt, but that I cannot corroborate whether she was violent with him, but he would claim that she was just as abusive to him as he was to her, possibly as a defense mechanism. If I had to guess.
I'm on the same line too.
Oh yeah.
But what happened after that police confrontation is he immediately confronted Alana about the cops.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that cops had to even be involved tells you everything right there. I mean,
and yeah, this is where Sam comes into play, because I guess he's trying to get her jealous. It's not really working.
Yeah.
And then because that is not working, he comes up with a new strategy, because he knows her bus routes, he knows her class schedule. So what he does is he waits for her on her way to one of her classes, and this is where he hides behind the bush.
Yeah, this is where that darkness shit happens, and when he starts stalking her and shit, which is funny because I myself was accused of stalking, right? But I can immediately dispel, and tell you the actual story versus what he did, which was actually follow her to her home and shit. That's real stalking.
Oh no, but in his video, correction, he says he wasn't stalking her; he was simply following her. Right?
What's the difference? You're following her home.
Exactly. Yeah, no,
that's his way of minimizing things.
That's a great line.
I wasn't stalking her; I was just following her home.
That's how he said it exactly.
And possibly picking up anything she dropped.
But the whole tree thing, it's amazing, because he says he remembers his story pretty much precisely, right? And whenever it comes up to him hiding behind a tree, he's like, "Oh, well, I don't remember if I was hiding behind a tree. My memory is a bit foggy around this time. I might have been behind it, might have not been. So I just approached her." And this is where
notice how his memory gets foggy whenever he has to recant a detail that is inconvenient to his narrative.
Exactly. And what happens here is what Eden was saying, where he hugged her, right? So he goes in front of her, stops her, hugs her while crying. She's not hugging him back. She's just enough creeped out.
There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way it went down that way. But okay. I mean, if
Yeah.
you know human psychology, just if you've been around another human being, you know that doesn't work like that. Oh yeah,
Right.
the guy I'm angry at that's following me around suddenly wants to throw his arms around me. I'm just gonna let him hug me. Fuck that.
So what happens then is he well, you remember that vlog, like the blog, and he made like a 3D animation of how he wasn't hiding behind the bush.
More of the cringy shit. Boy, we were cringe back in the day.
That's what made that era of YouTube so much more fun than the current era, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad I lived through it. We need to bring that shit back because
I think me and Joon are bringing it back in a little bit of a way.
Hell yeah, guys! You do God's work.
So did he talk about like any of this so far at all to you on Skype?
Oh yeah, to me, Andrew, to all of us. That's and again, it's always his version. Always he in his versions, he always meant no harm. He didn't really, touch her. He didn't hit her. He didn't shove her. I was just making sure she was all right. Like, we would always try to poke holes in his story, and then he'd be like, "Oh, well, what am I supposed to do?" And we'd always be like, "Hey, dude, just leave her alone, man. Like, she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to be with you. She doesn't want to be with you. Plenty of fish in the sea." Nope, he would never hear it.
No, exactly. And after this school thing happened, right? He again confronts her in front of his house and waits for her like to come home, right?
Doesn't surprise.
And she freaks out and is about to call the cops, but he rips her phone out of her hands.
Yeah.
And what she does is she tries to calm him down, be like, "Oh, I'll get back to you," just to get the phone back, right? Like, I guess to call the police and be like, just to reassure him so he won't do anything crazy.
You can already imagine that. He's got his phone in one hand and he's probably like using his other hand to keep her at distance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She reassures him enough to get her like the phone back, and she doesn't call the cops, but instead she calls her mom, which is in closer proximity. And her mom like comes out and I guess shoos Alexander away because I guess it just scares him off.
Yeah.
And from here, the cops are called a second time.
I'm guessing that's why she had to get that restraining order eventually.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
From here, oh yeah. So at this point, like the John Lennon and the Rick Astley videos are uploaded, the lip sync ones.
Yeah.
Okay, and from here, let's see. Oh yeah, okay. So after that, there is, well, I believe the thumbnail artist sent those videos to Alana. The Rick Astley and the John Lennon. And one of them was titled For Alana, which is when she was superbly freaked out because it was like bleeding heavily into YouTube now, into the public space.
Yep.
And I believe that's when his original Game Dude channel was deleted, if I'm correct, or was it the second or third one?
I think that was his first one.
His first one, right. Okay, going from there... Yeah, go ahead.
And I think around that time also, Andrew... That's probably when he started privating all the videos, but you'd have to ask him.
Yeah, he got a cease and desist from Alana.
Oh, okay. So that's how that happened.
Right.
At least someone claiming to be Alana. We don't actually know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to tell sometimes, yeah.
What happens next is he sells his truck and his entire game collection to get her diamond ring. And so he does that. And he gets a note, the diamond ring, and goes to her bus stop and forces that on her, pretty much, and she walks away.
I remember the ring thing. Jesus Christ. Oh, shit. That fucking... The moment you said ring, I'm like, oh, shit, that's right. Fuck. He did talk about a fucking diamond ring. Fuck. Oh, shit. We're like, why the fuck did you do that, dude? That's stupid. Dude, she's not gonna get with you, bro. Plenty of fish in the sea.
So is that something like he told you after he did it? Like he didn't say like, "Oh, I'm thinking of."
Yes.
Okay.
No. I distinctly remember that one happened in Big Chat. There's at least 4 people in that call. I hope Andrew recorded that. He said that. I think Emmer was there. I think Emmer was there. I was there. Jesus Christ! Just the moment we we all did that collective, the meme where everybody slaps their forehead at the same time. That's the kind of reaction we got there. Like, you did what? You think after all this shit she's just gonna be like, "Oh, look, a diamond ring. I love you now." No, dude, that's bonkers. God. Oh God, the diamond ring thing. Fuck.
Can you describe that call, how that even was brought up? I guess.
No, it's just he was proud of himself. Like, it's just just super proud of himself.
Yeah, but the more and more I see and learn about Game Dude, the more I guess he treats life like a video game.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Like a movie. Like in the movies, if you get a girl a diamond ring, hey, yeah, I'm the good guy of the story, There's redemption there. No.
No, definitely because in games there is always a path to victory, and that is determination. Even with his reuploads, I guess he would rate them with the 5-star ratings, right? He always knew, he thought in his mind that there was a way to get that high score, that perfection. Yeah. And I definitely see that with Lana. It's oh yeah, of course there's a possible way. That's the way the world is designed. There is a way.
Yeah. Yeah, needless to say that you can't imagine that going down well.
Oh no.
Probably oh shit, what the fuck? What are you doing here? That was probably legit what happened.
And it didn't go down well from what
shows up on one knee, opens the box, and she's like, "You're not supposed to be here. What the fuck are you doing here?" I can imagine that.
And what happened afterwards is he, quote unquote, took 10 Advil to end the nightmare.
Yikes! That I don't remember, but if he says he needed to pop some pills to deal with to cope with the aftermath, that's probably the only truthful thing he probably said.
Yeah.
Took some Ativans, huh?
Oh yeah, that didn't really do much, but
yeah, should have just taken some Xannies or.
But at this point, he was also I guess, he had a massive conflict with his parents because of the circumcision stuff.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I can't imagine he went to his dad for advice. There must be a reason he kept looking to us for advice.
And from here, without money because he spent it on the engagement ring, without his friends really supporting him because they were also distancing themselves from this craziness.
I imagine he eventually sold that ring too. I mean,
that comes in later, yeah.
That's what I assume, that he sold the ring and used that money to travel around the world when he
yeah. I wouldn't surprise.
Yeah. At this point, Alana currently has possession of the ring because Alexander forced it on her.
Yeah.
Before she left. And he's also homeless, right? So he says he pitched a tent outside of Starbucks to get the internet. He'd sometimes go into the shops as well. So, did he ever talk about being homeless to you?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
This is news to me. This is now news to me.
It couldn't have been for a lengthy period, but that's something you said he did. What happens now is,
like I said, unreliable narrator. So
he is, yeah. What happens next is he says that, because he confronted Alana in front of one of the bus stops, right? So Alana knows that he is waiting for her there. So what happens is Alana's mother goes in her place and confronts the game dude waiting for Alana, essentially.
Yeah. Yep. And she probably didn't have any kind words to say, and probably also to return the ring, if I had to guess.
No, it doesn't happen quite then. But then what happens then is he finds Alana again, assumedly at her house, and the police are called again. And from there, the police are called the very next day as well. There is another confrontation. So what the game dude does is he confronts Alana. So it's the mom. He can the mom confronts him. He confronts Alana. The police are called, and then the next day the police are called, and then he confronts Alana about the police. And the police finally arrest him, where he talks about a Chinese man in jail being crazy, and he feels bad about like him being crazy, and gives him an apple. I don't know where he mentions that. And now he has a court date. This is when the game dude finally has that court date.
Okay.
Did he ever mention the court date to you?
Nope.
Not at all.
Nope. That was not one of the topics of conversation ever.
Oh man. So
maybe
yeah.
Andrew, because I mean, there's got to be a way Andrew ended up with those documents somehow.
Oh yeah, some of them are on the blog, I believe.
Yeah, Alex posted them himself. So.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go then.
With Alana's address intact. So.
Everything, pretty much.
Yeah, he like I said, he was too awkward to care about details like those.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he didn't do that to Doxxer. He just did it out of plain stupidity.
Yeah, oh no! So he was
believe.
Actually proud of the trolls harassing her.
He was proud of the trolls harassing him.
Yeah, he was like, fine, haha, like Alana, like the troll, like he gave the number out through like the Skype and the blog, and he was like, haha, yeah, they're bothering her. Maybe like she will come to me for like I don't know why. It was just some harassment tactic. Yeah, but also later she's like, oh man, they're harassing her. I feel so bad about it. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, like I said, it's like I told you, he was very bipolar like that. So that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I remember his like defense for that was like, oh, she's giving it out to everybody anyway. I might as well give her phone number out to people.
No. Yeah, exactly. Like he'd always deflect. So yeah, that doesn't surprise me either.
So what happens here is because of the court date being set, finally his parents, like the game dude's parents, are finally able to really confront and get into contact with Alexander because there's really nowhere to run or avoid them.
Yeah, I guess his parents probably saved him from himself in the long run. That's my guess. If he cleaned up and ended up with a therapist, that'd very likely be because of his dad. I mean,
yeah,
we're talking. I mean, we're talking Lebanese family. Very family-minded values. His dad didn't leave him out in the cold.
Yeah, I was gonna actually ask about that because watching one of the videos where you go into like he was complaining like you called. You said he's from Retardistan or something.
Yeah,
and so
eventually I would learn that he was of Lebanese descent. So
yeah, I remember him saying in that video like it's like he was like half German, half Lebanese or something like that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And his dad, the type. He was a very very protective about the family type thing. So there's no doubt in my mind that whoever saved him from himself, it was definitely his dad.
And yeah, like this is pretty much this is like nearly where that story closes, right? Is he was on Skype talking to some people. It could have been anyone, and he got a visit from the police where they delivered that diamond ring back, essentially. And he says he was. Were you possibly in that call?
No, I probably was not in the call when that happened.
Gotcha. And there's just like one more detail that's just insanely confusing to me, because as we know, like Game Dude isn't the most reliable narrator, but he states that he got Justin Bieber to serenade her in person. I don't know where that comes from.
What most likely happened is he got a recording of Justin Bieber.
Yes. Okay.
We're talking. The way he says it and the way it probably happened is I imagine him doing that 80s thing outside of her window with a boombox, playing Justin Bieber. Now, that is more likely than him actually getting Justin Bieber. His dad had money, but he didn't have that much money.
Oh, definitely not. It was so bizarre. So like that was probably like such a bizarre element even for Alexander.
Yeah, no, in my heart of hearts, he probably just got a recording of Justin Bieber, or I don't know if Justin Bieber was ever on like Cameo or any shit.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Maybe he did what the Irate Gamer did for Ernie Hudson.
Right. I've been known to get cameos of moderately famous people and use those to my advantage, but to get the actual celeb, I doubt it. Matter of fact, I call bullshit instantly.
Yeah, me too. There's just no way. And from here, the whole court date thing happens. It settles in some way, right? There's Alexander's retelling the events, which aren't so reliable, but that's really all we have. I guess I will pour through the court documents to see what actually happened, but he says Alana ran out. He's mad he didn't get to give his part or something.
And again, knowing his parents, there's no way they let him be homeless. I mean, I call bullshit on that too.
Right.
But if
he says he ceased contact with his family.
Yeah,
so.
he ran away from them.
There's no. It was probably one of those. When the kid says, "Yeah, I'm running away," and then that same night he's back home, like, "Sorry, Dad." That's what really happened, guys.
Yeah, he doesn't give a time frame, so I assume if it happened, it had to be like very short.
And his dad wasn't the type to close the door on him. There's no fucking way he was homeless. He came back. He was an awkward kid. He just needs to sound like he went through hard times more than he actually did.
Right, and afterwards is where the whole vacation thing, the Mexico thing, happened.
Yeah, that was a bizarre thing. Because I think that was literally one of the last times we ever spoke to him when he was in Mexico.
So how did that information come to you? Was it through a Skype call or?
It was a Skype call. I mean, he knew where to find us.
Was it the last Skype call?
No, I'm pretty sure there were some after that. Because I mean, Mexico's what, 2014, something like that.
Yeah. So he tells you it was a vacation, right? A 2-week vacation.
Yeah, that's why I'm pretty sure he didn't stay in Mexico. He had to have gone back to Canada at some point.
Because if I recall, he went from Vegas to California to Mexico.
Yep. Yeah, he had a big old trip, straight down from Canada all the way to Mexico. So.
I mean, in the messages he sent to Game Dude Official, though, he said he had no interest in going back to Canada.
Yeah, but you know how it is. The money runs out.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what he did, but I'm just saying, I'm just giving you Alex's version of events.
Common sense dictates that he did not overstay his visa and just stay in Mexico.
Yeah, I'm under the belief he did go back to Canada because.
Yeah. Unless your name is Ethan Klein, Ethan Ralph.
Oh yeah.
Unless you're Ethan Ralph, you don't stay in Mexico.
And what also helps is you say that wasn't your last Skype call. If you could remember, how often do you talk to him after that? Was it maybe one more call, 2 more?
That's just the thing. Is it used to be daily, right? Then it started being more weekly, and then it started being monthly, and then it just started being not at all. He really fell off the map at some point. He just stopped calling us, and when he would call him, it would just be do 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 do, and he would just not answer. So I mean, at some point he just went completely dark.
Do you remember those conversations post Mexico?
Post Mexico, yeah, it's just it very very brief. Hey, are you doing okay? Yeah, I'm doing okay. Click. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Towards the end, he was very very short, and, not telling us anything about anything, and just kind of pick up, click, and then not even that.
So nothing about him returning to Canada or anything like
that.
Nope,
that's why we don't know for sure. That's why we have to just assume he went back to Canada just based on facts. Based on the fact that money runs out. Money is finite. Unless you have a constant stream of money, you can't really stay overseas somewhere.
I don't know how much that diamond ring fetched him, but I don't think
not enough to have an indefinite stay in Mexico.
Yeah, I bet you're right about that.
But yeah, it was weird because he used to be very open, and he couldn't wait to tell us, right, what happened. He couldn't wait to tell us about Elena or things going on in his life, to where it just became one word answers you okay? I'm okay. Click.
I don't know if he was on medication at that point. He must have been something must have happened, to change or correct him in some way.
Yeah, but yeah, he became very quiet after a while. And yeah, and then just not at all. Then he wouldn't even bother answering at all. And yeah, and that was pretty much the last I heard of him.
That's really interesting because to me, right? I assume maybe his parents took away his devices and may like forced him to like completely cut off like all this internet stuff from, but even just answering your calls, right?
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, because he used to answer our calls and he used to, add himself to our chats. So I mean,
But answering your calls, even just the short, like, oh, hey, how's it going? Like, that means he still had access to it, but it was from his, like, it was his choice not to engage.
correct. Yeah.
And that leads more to, like, the good ending, right? It was his choice to go offline after all this chaos.
And that's why I'm praying and hoping that he just learned his lesson and got the good ending. Because I hate to think of the alternatives.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why if I hear from him, I'll be like, oh, dude, it's so nice to see you again, man. Are you all right, man? What up after all these years, man? I mean, I would love to shoot the shit with him again and see what happened in these last 8 years.
I think he's more well known now after he left the internet because of everything that happened.
Isn't that crazy how the internet does that?
It's the mystery. Because, like,
the mystery definitely helped make that interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
But it always bugged me that he just kind of went completely silent, like, man. And sometimes you can't help but go, man, did we just fuck with him too much, But, it's hard to tell. I in my heart of hearts, I really hope he got the happy ending, because that would be obviously the best outcome. But as far as what makes sense, mentally, there's no way he's not back in Canada. I mean, he didn't have another place to go, so he had to go back at some point.
Yeah, I mean, like, seeing how difficult it was for him to live life, even in his country of, like, residence, where he grew up, I think it would have been quite impossible for him to really survive in a foreign place. You know what I mean? It's just...
Again, I mean, like I said, Ethan Ralph found a way to live in Mexico, so maybe
and that's true. I mean, Ethan Ralph's probably more far gone than Game Dude, too, so...
Oh, yeah. Now, there you're talking about a fun character. Then again, Ethan Ralph had a successful show that he could milk for money to live in Mexico, whereas Game Dude, by the time he was in Mexico, had no such thing. So there's...
I feel like what Game Dude lacks is survivability in some ways. I feel like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? There is that element that there's elements lacking of what you'd expect in an adult, and I just don't feel Game Dude has that at all.
And that's why I'm under the impression that his parents bailed him out. That's my version of what had to have happened, because just based on how he was and the fact that everything got kind of done for him, his life was set out in front of him, to the point where he got a job because of his dad, Yeah,
that's true too. Because like, let's say he moved to Mexico, it's like, what could he have possibly done for work with like his level of like experience and stuff like that?
Yeah, and he certainly didn't know the language. I speak Spanish. I mean,
I do too.
Sí.
Sí, hablo español.
Pero vos no sos nativo, ¿no?
Sí, pues nací en México. Ahí es donde vivía.
¿Vos sos mexicano?
Sí, soy mexicano.
Mira vos. Yo soy argentino, entonces...
¿Eres de Argentina?
Sí.
Ay, güey. ¿Es muy lejos?
Bastante lejos, sí. Nada, de hecho, tuve un canal en castellano y no fue tan casi nadie fue a mi canal en castellano, pero bueno.
Pues sí, es muy popular en inglés, ¿no?
Yep. Damn Skippy. Shit.
Yeah, I had no idea that you spoke Spanish, June. I knew Asa did.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. I was born in Mexico.
I was a dirty speech.
Well, yeah, so thank you. You've been, like, it's been very insightful, like, just, like, talking about all things Game Dude and just how he was as a person.
He's an interesting topic, and it always bugged me that just how it ended, like, because I never got like closure on that. So I'm like, I would legit like to know if he's all right.
So something I do wonder, like, and you can talk about like more about this is
That's why I'm hoping that you'll make a video. He'll see it and then be like, "Yeah, this is an update. Here's what happened to me."
Yeah, that's my that's one of the reasons I've kept making Game Dude videos for such a long time. It's like, man, if anything were to bring about of hiding, it would be other people talking about him.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm really hoping that he'll notice and maybe maybe let us know he's okay, because we did. It's weird because for all the fucking around we did with him, at the end of the day, guys like me and Andrew, we're only cared about doing it's the male ribbing,
Yeah, everyone does that.
Yeah.
It's just harmless ball busting what we tried to do. We weren't really trying to hurt him or anything. We were just trying to get some laughs, and hopefully he would eventually join in the laughs. And many times he did join in the laughs. He can't say we just trolled him. I mean, we legit let him in on our fun, and he had fun with us too. So, I hope he, I really hope he got the happy ending out of that. None of us wanted to see him fail. We just wanted to get some lulls.
Yeah, that seems to be like the common denominator between everybody who's either made a video about him or just knew him, is that like nobody wants to see him like dead or like fucked up or like any of this shit. Like it's just
He wasn't a bad kid. He was just an awkward kid, really.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't think anybody like that I know anyway really wants like anything malicious to happen to him.
And that's why we were freaking out when the whole police shit was happening with him, because we were like, Jesus Christ, like this is not where we thought this would end up. But
Asa, something I could use help in expanding on is,
yeah, of course,
because you lived through it, you understand it way better than I do. Even though like I was part of YouTube back in the day, just not to that degree, is the influence of someone of like Game Dude's size, because people see like 6,000 subs today and be like, oh, that's not that big, but like back then it was an entirely different boost.
Dude, back in 2009, to have 5,000 subs was fucking amazing. I mean, I didn't crack 10,000 until what, 2013, 2014. So, I mean, for a guy to have 5,000 subs in 2009 was a big deal. Just to give you an idea, roughly around 2008 or so, Irate Gamer he managed to bring himself up to the 8th most popular channel at the time. There was a time when Irate Gamer was one of the top dudes on the site, believe it or not.
No, I believe it. And something even more crazy about Alex's story, right, is, with his re-uploadings and whatever, he kept one video typically like in its original state, and that was Sonic 06. And the thing is, in 2011-ish, since that video had been like pretty much untouched and was allowed to accumulate views, it had 66,000 views, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that makes me wonder if Game Dude just like left his shit untouched, if he would have been the popular creator he wanted to be, right?
Maybe. His stuff had I mean, at the time it was like, oh god, another angry reviewer, right? But like as a look into the past, his stuff has a very interesting mystique to it, so to speak.
There's so many quotable lines like, "Oh, look at Barbie, what a scary bitch."
Yeah, I mean, who could forget the word platypussy-wuss now? I mean, there's no way. I mean, I can't get that.
Fuck platypus.
Yeah, I mean, there's no getting some of that shit out of your head after a while. It is very quotable, and for better or for worse, I think it would have had some longevity had he stuck around.
That's probably why, like, so many people are still making videos about him nowadays, is because he was. I think a lot of people at the time just thought, he was just another AVGN clone, but. And
again, I might be the wrong person to talk about longevity. I could not make anything that lasted the test of time. So I'm surprised this guy even heard of me.
But like, it's just like very interesting, because like the thing that was getting him popular, like you were saying, like the things that were memorable are the things he hated about his own videos, right? He didn't want to be seeing that, even though he could attain popularity through that. It's just so.
If he had embraced that side of himself, he probably could have been big.
Right.
And if he just grabbed the ball and run with it, like, bottom line, people love this about you. Fucking do that thing, you know?
Yeah, and it's actually like if you look at some of his short films, like some of them are kind of horror themed, and he has like kind of a creepy sort of like vibe to him. Yeah. So I think he could have actually owned that and kept going down that path. And...
Did he ever talk
You
about
know
that?
what's goose poop?
Sports games.
Oh god, goose poop.
Did he ever talk about like those experimental videos to you or no?
Which ones?
Like any of those like weird film student ones, or like where he gets attacked by an orb or the 2D tree or the snow globe.
Yeah, because we mocked him about those, and he didn't want to talk about that. I think he was legit embarrassed by that.
What about the drunk video that like he posted on his channel where he's singing his own theme song?
Singing his own theme song, yeah. He never talked about that either. And Andrew loved to constantly put that clip on in the Skype chat and be like, "Hey, I found this. Oh, by the way, guys, I found this." And he'd post it again and like, "Hey guys, check this out." And he'd post it again just to get a rise out of him.
Don't you guys know my theme song?
Yeah. No, but I like how he's like, "Come on, guys, he's the game dude. Hey, is anybody with me?"
Along?
I think he literally says, "Anybody with me, guys? He's the game dude. He is so rude. Come on, guys. Am I right? Am I right? Yeah, my theme song. Yeah, anybody?
And no one sings along. He just keeps on pushing and pushing and pushing. It's crazy.
Matter of fact, that's literally the only clip I have left. This is all that's left in my entire archives about him, and it pisses me off because I
Well, all the archives are going to come back soon because I'm uploading a bunch.
It left Andrew as the de facto keeper of the. But yeah, this is all that remains in my collection. Look at him.
Bad attitude.
See, literally, like, come on, guys.
And then they start clapping along, and then they don't actually sing because they don't know it.
Yeah. Like, come on, guys. Am I right? Am I right? Anybody? Oh, man. What's sad is he had a second theme song.
I remember that one, the slower one. Yes.
Yeah. He's a dude on a mission.
Yeah, I actually found out. I was going through some of the videos yesterday. Apparently, a fan sent that into him because he had like the first song, which I think that he commissioned, and then the second.
He liked it so much. You know, he was very self-conscious about that whole Banjo cat thing that he drew. He was so embarrassed, and he hated his own work so much, even though that's literally where the charm is, right? Like, we loved it because of that. We loved his little Banjo cat animation that he did.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like
that the moment a fanboy sent that song in, that replacement song, he replaced it immediately, and he thought that was great.
Even just because of the Banjo cat?
Yeah.
Couldn't you just take out the Banjo cat? That's just the graphic. That doesn't need to be part of the theme
right,
song.
But I think what happened was his only version of the song was a video version. And so he couldn't like you know what I mean? Like if he wanted to keep the intro, he had to keep the cat, or else he'd cut off the part of the song. My guess is that's why he had to switch to the song, because he had no way of removing the cat from the thing. Even though nowadays you can do that easily.
Oh, he couldn't separate the audio.
Yeah, he couldn't separate the audio from the video, so he had to keep the cat in there. So the moment he had a chance to fucking get a new theme song, he's like, "Yes, I can finally get rid of this Banjo cat thing that I think is cringe."
So he can do a bunch of different revisions on his videos, but he can't separate the audio from the video and his theme song.
Well, because he could delete things. He just, he could delete. It's easy to cut and paste, but it's hard to remove the audio from the video, I guess. Nowadays, it's easy. Software today, you could do that in 2 seconds, but back in 2009, it wasn't that easy.
So he would talk to you about the Banjo cat then? He had admitted to animating that?
Well, on more than one occasion, he told me how he felt embarrassed by his... And we told him, we love the cat. Keep him.
I remember going through some of the Game Dude official videos yesterday. He does bring up the cat and he does rant about it.
Yep, he was very embarrassed by his own creation, and he doesn't realize that that's actually one of the more endearing parts of his video.
Oh yeah, like his theme song is unironically pretty damn good.
Yeah, in matter of fact, the one the fans sent is generic and shitty. Like, why would you replace this song with that one? You know?
Yeah, it's a big step down.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have it. Anything that he thought made him look bad, he'd delete it.
Which was pretty much everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh
That's
man.
the thing, when you have that much, low self-confidence. I mean, it's the same low self-confidence that led him to stalk a poor woman.
There was something like really, I don't know, kind of sad about like Alexander in that sense, in that he would upload something and maybe he was like confident about it. Like he saw it one way and people immediately laughed at
Right,
him.
and then when he didn't get the reaction he thought he would get, he would change it or delete it or just take it down completely.
Which was everything, like literally everything. I can't think of one thing he was really confident about.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's kind of sad that he just didn't stick with it. I mean, I deleted a lot of my shit, but for a very different reason. I deleted a lot of my early shit. Well, first of all, the first original Asalieri channel got taken down, but my second one, I had to delete videos because I just didn't want to deal with all the backlash and all the, the people who are like, "Oh, Asa, you're being a hater," blah blah blah. And then I just suffered the standard burnout that YouTubers would suffer after years of doing the same shtick.
Yeah, I get that.
If you haven't suffered burnout, then you're a better man than I, Joon.
Oh no, man! I'm like, you got to realize how lazy I am. I upload like monthly. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's the same with me. I feel really lazy too, even though it feels like I'm also working on stuff every single day.
Now that I've met you, obviously I'm going to start watching your stuff. But and if you ever feel the need to make videos on me, go ahead.
You do have a treasure trove of people that I know that you've talked to over the years, like Drunken Punk and stuff like that.
Oh, dude! I mean, I have stories and I have stories. I mean, yeah, if you want tales, I mean, I was now that I started seeing that there's like a taste in people of reviving the 2006 to 2009 era. I debated whether I should do like a tales of Grandpa Asa tells tales of the internet.
I'd fucking watch that. That'd be awesome.
I think it'd be that could work, but you had to frame it not as Grandpa, but like more like an insider, like because you're not. I mean, it's like 10 years ago. It's not like really old. You know what I mean? But
it's old by internet standards. You know what I mean? Like 2009 is so distant from us now. Like, I mean, how many people today still talk about the effects that the Rickroll had, for example, or Chocolate Rain Guy, for example,
or Numa Numa,
yeah.
But I think your pull would be more like the insight, like frame it not as Grandpa, but more like the truth. You know what I mean? Like, I think that could be the pull.
Yeah, so. I'd have to like dig through all my old shit over here, but I know I can at least go as far back as 2012. Anything prior to that, it all has to be anecdotal for me.
Yeah. Oh man,
I mean, it's still going on a little bit, isn't it? Because you had that thing with I think his name's Lizard Guy. I watched those videos.
That guy here. You want an update on that story?
Please.
This happened just 2 days ago. Read that shit. Lizard Guy posted this 2 days ago and he deleted it. Yeah. Yeah, read that.
5-year crusade to murder me? What?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Lizard Guy is insane. And I can't get this motherfucker off my back. He read my ED article and now he treats my ED article like it's, gospel truth.
God.
Except my ED article says that I live off the government and that I also gamble. So which is it? Do I have enough money to spend all my discretionary income at the casino? Or do I live off the government? Like, what is it, ED?
Maybe if he finds these game videos.
They also claim that I'm a pedophile that touched my girl inappropriately, and all they got is a picture of me with my newborn daughter on my lap. And because I have my shirt off, that automatically turns me into a pedophile, guys.
Yeah, your
the
ED
ED
page
isn't-
is pretty fucked up, honestly.
Yeah, I mean most of them are to that degree.
Yeah.
If you go through it, I can tell you what's real and what is and what is fake, and at least 90% of that is all conjecture.
That reminds me, on the Game Dude's ED article, there's like a lot of messages between you and Game Dude. Like, who did you send those screenshots
I mean,
to?
not to toot my own horn, but I was the one that brought him into the forefront. I was literally the first person to make videos about him, and then suddenly, you know, that's it's ironic, but RAR didn't become popular because of Irate Gamer. It became popular because of Game Dude. Because Game Dude was the first video I made that was it was the 5th episode of my series.
Yeah, because a lot of people at that time were probably already commenting on Chris Boers, so...
Right, yeah. I actually arrived late to the Chris Boers party, yeah. I got some views off of Boers, but then when I did the one on Game Dude, I got like 4 times the amount of views. And so that he became the topic of choice. And then suddenly a lot of people started talking about him. In my heart of hearts, I was the first guy to talk about Game Dude. I was also probably the first person to talk to him, you know, in PMs.
It seems like that, because he seems to have like the most extreme reaction to you out of all the people who commented on him.
Did he also send
I was the one that shone the spotlight on him to start out with.
Yeah.
Ironically, I'd end up becoming one of his biggest advocates in the end, and hoping the best for him. But
did he send the N-word one message to you, where he says it 8 times in a row?
Yeah. Yep. And he said that just out of pure anger. That's it.
What?
Yeah, he said the
Oh,
N-word.
you haven't seen that mesage?
I don't think so. I have
showed him. Yeah, he was mad. That boy was mad. Yeah, because it had something to do with when I said the retardistan thing. Like, he really took that. He tried to accuse me of being racist. And so I told him, dude, I'm not being racist. Like, oh, you want to see racism? This is racist. Yeah.
There, you wanted me to be racist, so this is what you get.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
And ironically, I wasn't telling him, and that's the thing, he just didn't get it. Like, I'm not calling, I'm just saying I'm not a racist. The whole retardistan thing was just a dumb joke.
Yeah, no, I get it too. He's not racist either. He's just trying to be like, you know.
Yeah.
He's like, you're racist, I'll show you racism. And then that's the kind of person he was. You wanted me to be racist, so here's what you get. Stupid N-word. God damn. He was unhinged.
Oh, yeah. But I think that pretty much just covers everything. The video should be out hopefully by next month, but man, there's so much.
I'm sure there's a lot to dig through, and like I said, you want the actual media. The best guy to go to is Andrew.
Yeah.
No, he had such a
so
many.
Oh yeah, the treasure trove has opened up. I mean, I'm probably going to be making videos on Game Dude for the next year or so after this.
He's gonna be here. He's gonna be your go-to guy.
Oh yeah, I mean, he kind of has been since I started like doing the essays and stuff. But I branched off.
You want an unhinged guy? Help me with help me shine a spotlight on Lizard Guy. That guy, fucking amazing.
Well, it could be depending on like what people want, because people were recommending Game Dude. Like, it's so weird, right?
Here's the thing: is I can give you a million names of cringy people who do cringy things who nobody has ever heard of, but they're worth talking about.
Yeah. No, I definitely need an element from
I mean,
if
you want, you know, lol cows that you can call your own. That was something I specialized back in the day.
I myself thought about doing something on Drunken Punk, but apparently you guys are cool now.
It's a very difficult relationship. He went from being cool to wait. So you're against trans people? I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, well, I'm, you know. and then he joined my Discord server, and then he left because someone said something transphobic that he thought was a slight against him, and then he left again. But just to give you an idea, here's a before and after.
Yeah. Jack and Jill.
Yeah, there's the before and after.
Okay. Yeah. I knew some of this stuff about the trans stuff, but anyway, I'm getting a bit off topic. So.
Here's a clean one without my joke in there. But yeah, that's him these days.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess she's doing better.
Yeah, I mean, don't misgender him, because if you misgender him, he'll go nuts.
Is that the pronouns he likes? He or she or?
I think it's a they them, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
All I know is he, I guess, goes through bouts of hey, Asa, we're cool. No, we're not cool. We're cool. We're not cool. Like it's like he can't make his mind up sometimes.
Yeah.
So I just kind of throw my hands up into the air and be like, okay, if he wants to contact me, I'm not going to shut him out. You know.
Yeah.
Besides, sometimes contacting me ends up netting some lulzy shit eventually.
Hence, I guess why we're here talking about Game Dude.
Oh yeah.
Exactly, and it's why I'm sad that I don't have my old Lenovo anymore, because God, there was some good shit on there.
Honey, do you think it'll be backed up on JD's computer? Because I still have a folder on. There's still a folder on there that's labeled Daddy stuff.
When did I get but that computer I got that back in 2015. I don't think that has no. It was on my old Lenovo Sudi, the one that I replaced that computer with. Yeah, the one that I used in Germany, Sudi. I mean, it's the reason why my early videos had this annoying little green blink every now and then, because I used to make them in Movie Maker. So you can tell my old videos because they have this. You'll see this weird green flash every now and then. I doubt it has any of my old stuff, but if it does, Actually, it just occurred to me that if you go through my video of where I make fun of Game Dude, there's some old screenshots in there that might help you too.
Oh, the RAR?
In my RAR, there's old screenshots of his channel. So you could see exactly how many subs he had back in 2009, if you can't find that.
Yeah.
Oh, I found it. It's in the Wayback Machine. I think he had like 3,000 and he peaked at like maybe 6,000.
Yeah, I think 6,000. Yeah, that sounds about right. 6,000 is about where he peaked.
Well, yeah. Was there any confusion? Because I know there must have been with people finding which, because you knew for sure which Game Dude channel was his, but did people actually know which one it was? Because there were so many reuploads, right? Was there confusion about like who is who?
Yeah, they knew that the Alexander 4488 one was all him, and at first I think they thought Game Dude Official was him until they started seeing all the lulzy shit that he started posting.
Well, some people were still convinced. Like,
well, today people don't know. Yeah,
I mean, some people will be convinced because hey, how could he possibly have this? Well, how could he possibly have it? Is because we had access to him, personally. That's why.
Yeah.
But that's the part that nobody knows. Let's see. Man, I have a whole bunch of old stuff here.
Well, I do have like one more question, and
yeah, go ahead.
It's this channel. Like me and Ian think that this is one of his final channels.
Final channels. Let's take a look. Copy.
Just because of like the corrections and edits that weren't found on any other channels, and because it was like established around the time he deleted his first channel too.
I mean, that is his art there, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say like when we got those messages from Andrew about the conversations he had between him and Game Dude, it was this thumbnail as well. So that actually leads me to believe even more that this probably was his channel. That
is his art, so I mean, you're not going to find that art anywhere else but in his stuff. So
Yeah.
Game Dude Blinks AVGN I like how he repackaged them as AVGN parodies.
Yeah, that's another thing. Is like that's totally something Alex would do. So that's another reason I believe this was his channel.
That does make me believe that this is his, because that is legit something he would do. This is Alvin and the Chipmunks review, and God, that was one of his lulziest ones.
Weird.
Yeah, there it is. Dude, his Alvin and the Chipmunks video used to be 18 minutes long. Now it's 3 minutes and 33 seconds long.
Wow.
God. I bet my RAR has more clips of it than his own.
Oh yeah, when I was doing some of Game Dude's videos, I was like, I went to your RAR because you had some clips from the Brawl revisions that were not available anywhere else.
That no longer exist. Yeah. Like I said, there's some clips even in my reclips that that you won't see anywhere else.
Yeah.
So that doesn't. Yeah, this has to be him, dude. I'm looking through these. I mean, we all had backup channels back in the day. I had the Pistos A channel, which I can't for the life of me figure out how to get back into. I no longer have the email nor the password for it, so I'll never be able to log back into the Pistos A channel. So that one's kind of stuck in limbo, which is crazy because I actually managed to get up to 500 subs somehow on it. Hail of the son, more like hail of the son of a bitch.
Another thing is the Mickey Mousecapade video. He says in the title, it says the video games Grumps watched, and like that's also something Alex would do. He'd try to advertise himself that way.
Does this one have his secondary theme song? Oh, these don't even have his intro in them.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like,
yeah, he just removed that entirely.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't want to.
No, I remember. Yeah, people found it funny. Just removed it entirely.
God, I think he eventually realized that his second theme song was terrible. So these later ones that don't have an intro are because they had a second intro.
Yeah, that is true.
Even he knew that his original theme song was better than his second theme song.
It's kind of funny because like when I was going through, I think the video I did is called Game Dude's Reviews Reviewed, and I was going through his Bubsy review, and like the only difference is that he changed his second theme song with his first theme song.
Yep. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
But yeah, I think that pretty much just covers everything.
I'm almost done uploading something for you, a little treat for you before you go.
Perfect.
One last party favor.
Yeah, might as well. But man, it's crazy how little shit I have on Game Dude anymore. When I used to have literally a big ass folder full of shit. Now the keeper of the media is Andrew, undoubtedly.
Andrew's a godsend because I don't think any of this would have been possible without him.
Yeah, so I'm glad I'll pat myself on the back for putting you into contact with him. I used to call him my Soundwave Ninja back in the day.
Soundwave Ninja?
Yeah, that was the nickname that I gave him back in chats and stuff. Like, hello, dear viewer, I'm here with the Soundwave Ninja 118. Because yeah, back in the day he used to be called 1176. Then
I remembered him as Blackface Kermit.
Yep. Then he changed it to Blackface Kermit, and now he goes by Pelswick.
Cool.
And I'm like, dude, you're always going to be known as Blackface Kermit. It's kind of like me. If I change my name, I'm still Asa. Nobody's ever going to not call me Asa. So I might as well just keep it. I'm Asa.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because for me, everybody calls me a different name. Some people call me Blinky, some call me Ian, some call me okay, fine, be that way. So
there you go. Have fun with it. This is the kind of guy I used to talk about back in the day.
Oh yeah, I remember this guy.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. I do. I remember seeing some videos of him.
I don't think I'm that familiar with this guy actually.
Oh yeah. If
I
you
remember-
think Game Dude is cringe,
Archived on the Internet Archive, on archive.org.
doesn't surprise me, sweetie. But they probably already have all that. The stuff that Andrew had, they definitely did not have.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that I had stuff, but no, my laptop is gone. But yeah, this guy was way more cringe than even Game Dude for what the little bit of interaction I managed to have with this guy before he dropped off.
Yeah, he definitely lacks the endearingness of Game Dude.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
To be fair, I feel like there's a lot of people that are worse than Game Dude. Like even like SS Sniper Wolf, I would say is probably worse than Game Dude.
I could probably go through all my old shit and tell you all sorts of people who were cringy back in the day, who today people would look back on and go, I want to know more about this guy.
Yeah, it's good because a lot of this information should be put out there. Because it's just way too entertaining to not.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I may have to bring RAR back. Oh God.
I hope you do. Personally, as a fan of it, I hope you do.
See, you're encouraging me just by saying that. Like, oh God damn it. How could I not now? You know? My wife hated it. She hates it because it brings me negative attention, and that. Yeah, and sometimes it brings some unnecessary. People have done some pretty fucked up stuff with us in the past. So.
Oh yeah, weren't like some people going to your house because of something on Craigslist? I kind of.
Oh yeah,
guy
got my address and posted it online saying that I had a dead kid and that I wanted to get rid of his video games because. Yeah, no, but I don't know what's more fucked up, that someone doxed me and put my address online, or that these people were literally in line to get what they thought were a dead kid's old toys. I don't know what's more cringe. That people were like willing to go to a house to get a dead kid's free shit. Like, oh, a kid died. Can I have his shit? Like, wow, guys, you read that on Craigslist and there was a big line outside my door. There was like 20, 30 cars. The cops had to come because there were too many cars in our fucking. They're blocking the street and people are complaining.
What the fuck?
I'll take.
That when it kept scaring JD.
Yep, I remember. And yeah, I remember the guy who called the freaking principal saying that I beat my kids. That was a fun one.
Jeez, does that shit still happen on occasion?
What?
Or has that kind of shit happened?
No, it
nowadays?
didn't happen. It doesn't happen anymore. But when I was, moderately popular, shall we say, some asshole. He went on my Facebook, got a video of my daughter's first day of school back when she was 5 years old, and he got from that the name of the school, and based on that information, he got the email of the principal, and he said, hey, you know that Eric Gady, Anna Gady's father, he mistreats her and he beats her and stuff. I had to have a meeting with the principal, and I had to show him like shit like my ED page and shit so that they'd realize that these were trolls that were trying to get me in trouble.
Oh, no, it was horrible, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty fucked.
That's why I try to like minimize my online presence, because it's just as bad today. You know what I mean? People are just as crazy.
Yeah, I made the mistake of putting my face in my videos. I hope you didn't do the same mistake.
I rarely do. So people don't really use that.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, I do, but I'll see what happens. Comes to that.
That was probably the most fucked up thing someone did. Is try to convince people that I was either a pedophile or that I beat my kids.
Oh yeah, it's terrible. I mean, with a lot of people I cover recently, like a lot of the trolls aren't like they were back then, right? They will use that like that's all they try to use against these, I guess, locals, right? Is they just accuse them of pedophilia, abuse, and just without any real evidence.
It's such
And
a
yeah.
and that's what and it's sad because what they're doing is they're trivializing actual pedophilia. They're making it seem like, oh, this is a joke. This isn't, you know.
Yeah.
And so what happens is now the net result of that is you can't say the word pedophilia or pedophile on YouTube. Now you have to bleep it out, or else they'll demonetize your video.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened, YouTube? Like, there's how to make a video of things you can't say on YouTube anymore.
That is the bottom line.
You can't say the word drugs. You can't say the word marijuana. You can't say pedophile. Like, come on, guys.
You can. You can now, actually. I think they loosened the restrictions, but you do have to get your video reviewed first.
I don't know. I mean, just yesterday I saw a Turkey Tom video where half the words are fucking bleeped out.
Well, some people still do it as a precaution.
Yeah,
but...
it's just precaution. You
okay.
definitely don't have to.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say last night I saw a Turkey Tom video where literally every other word is like, yeah, philia and marijuana and sex. You can't say sex. You can't say sex trafficking. You can't say rape. You can't say marijuana. Like, okay, what words can you say, YouTube?
Yeah, like even me, like with my videos, like I was worried that they'd get hit or something because, you know, not me, but Game Dude said stuff like retard or faggot and stuff like that, and it's just like,
oh yeah, I do censor that out because that's something YouTube does get.
I like the way YouTube, the way Game Dude used to say the word dragon. Dragon.
Yeah.
He did that with the word faggot too. He'd go faggot.
Faggot.
But I think that wraps everything up. Is there anything else you want to add or about anything Game Dude related?
No, I mean, if I find anything in any of my hard drives or anything, I'll be sure to pass it on to you. But
yeah, please do. That'd be really helpful.
Yeah, I would appreciate that immensely.
There's a guy that reuploads my old shit, and he might have all my other videos that I made on Game Dude, because I made a good 5 or 6 videos about YouTube about Game Dude back in the day.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I just can't say his channel name because it's really long and kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like Final Fantasy 2 and 3 rocks or some shit like that.
Yeah,
really long. FF 2 and 3 rocks but there's another one called Asalieri Archive, which people always thought was me, but no, that's a guy that just re-uploaded my stuff 2 years after I had taken him down, I guess.
I'll seek those out too.
But yeah, there's a good six videos, I would say, estimated that I'd made on Game Dude, and I'm pretty sure you could see screenshots and stuff that may not be available anywhere else anymore, but other than that, if I can find anything in any of my hard drives, I'll pass it on to you. But I knew that Andrew would be the guy to have most of the media on him, mainly because he was collecting stuff for an expose that he never made because he's lazy.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew ended up not making the expose. It ended up being you guys. That's good too.
But he pitched it to Jim, from my understanding.
Yeah, Jim was not good at giving us credit either.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, in the video, he's just like, I have a collection of it because somebody kept an archive. It's like, okay, well, where'd you get it, buddy?
Yeah, Jim was good at taking everybody else's work. He's good at presenting it. Let's just put it that way.
He was very good at presenting it.
Yep. I had my run-ins with Jim, but at the end of the day, he was an okay guy. He was fun.
Yeah, I know he's not doing too well physically right now, so I wish him the best.
And that's why I don't wish him ill. I know what happened with Emmer. I never got closure there, sadly.
Yeah, that's a shame. What happened with Emmer?
Nobody mourned Emmer harder than I did, and the last guy to hang out with him literally said the words, "I hope you're not in hell, Emmer." Like, wow, that's your eulogy for him.
You're talking about Darkness?
Yeah. Fucking Darkness the Curse was trying to fill the void as the new friend now that Ace is gone. You know, weaseled his way in, and the best he could muster was "I hope you're not in hell, Emmer." Jesus Christ.
Even Darkness
Yeah.
is doing better now. Like he has a different channel called History in the Dark, and it's way more popular than his
Doesn't
like.
talk about trains now or some shit.
Yeah, he does. And then he has like another channel called Prehistory in the Dark, which he talks about dinosaurs, but it's way more successful and, in my opinion, better than anything he ever did as Darkness the Curse.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. That's called experience.
Yeah.
He used his experience as a failed YouTuber to become a better YouTuber. It doesn't surprise me. Have you ever read his cringy books, though?
No, but I am aware of their existence.
You can apparently still buy them on Amazon, bro.
I'll look into that. I got Alana's books with me, so I mean, I still have a lot of like books to read through.
There's a part of me that actually wants to spend the $9.99 to buy his books so that I can read them. Because if what J.K. Tim says is true, because J.K. Tim actually bought a copy and he has a hard copy of his books.
How is David? I haven't heard from him in a while.
He visits me once a year.
Yeah, I see that. Like he pops up in your videos sometimes.
Yep. And anytime he comes to visit, we stream, which is usually May of every year.
Yeah. I used to really like his videos. It was funny.
And he's a great guy.
Yeah, he seems like it.
It's funny because he was good friends with both me and Emmer, and when I had my big breakup with Emmer, he didn't know which side to take, and he kind of chose both sides.
Yeah, I remember all that.
And so what ended up happening was David would talk shit about me to Emmer, and then talk shit about Emmer to me.
Yeah, I remember the streams, the mic drop kick and video. And all
Oh
that.
boy, that's a fun drama to sort. But yeah, at the end of the day, no one mourned him more than I did. I was the one that made the actual good tribute video on him, unlike the guy who professed to be his friend at the end, and all he could say is, "I hope you're not in hell." But yeah, now I got to go through Game Dude official stuff. I want to see what Andrew unlocked.
It's a bunch of stuff, and like I left a link in the chat, but I'm gonna upload a bunch of the stuff that he didn't have.
You did leave a link in the chat. I was gonna ask. Where is it?
Well, that's just for my channel, my second channel, which I'm gonna upload a bunch of stuff. But like,
here, drop the link to it so I can, because I definitely would love to see those again.
Yeah, I'll link your. I'll link the video he did about you.
And then I'll suddenly remember a lot of shit. Kind of like when he brought up the ring thing, and I'm like, oh shit, that instantly jogged my memory because of how cringy that was.
All right, that reminds me. You have access to Chris Boris, correct?
Yeah. If you ever want to talk to Chris Boris, I'll get into contact with him.
Oh yeah, please. Because I just need to ask him about like the if he ever spoke to Game Dude through Facebook. That's like the only question I do have for him.
Okay. I mean, I could ask him.
Oh yeah, please do.
Because the problem is he doesn't have a Discord. Anybody who passes himself off as him on Discord is lying to you. He refuses to use Discord, so.
Yeah. Okay, I just linked Game Dude's commentary on you, which is one of my favorite things he's ever done.
Oh, dude, you have no idea. You've just made my day with this. I should have asked Andrew a long time ago to give me this.
And here is the Game Dude allegedly talking to Chris Boris. So.
Well, it is definitely Game Dude talking to someone, but it's just...
but like, if it was him, though. If it was
I
the
talked
actual...
to Chris Boris with my fucking gun. You know, back in the day, that was a badge of honor, but...
Yeah, if Chris could verify if this is him...
If that was his actual Facebook.
That's what we really need to know for them.
God, that sound effect is kind of annoying.
Boys, the
If you
boys,
skip
the
to
boys.
like 2 minutes, I think he starts talking normally.
Yeah, I think like a minute in, like he just drops that stupid, annoying intro.
Thank God, because that's... God damn it. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to fast forward to that.
Everyone should just ban his chat.
Let's see.
Yeah, so like, okay, first of all, I'm like, why do you call Wilson Wilkins? You know,
I'm trying to figure out whether that's Facebook or some shit.
first said,
Yeah,
"God,
it's Facebook.
Yeah, it is definitely Facebook. It's just that Andrew was saying that he knew of a fake Chris Boers account on Facebook. So
That does not look like Chris
he
Boers'
doesn't give the
current
chance to
Facebook
say
account.
that he's ripping off Home Improvement."
And no, that does not look like.
So it's like, okay, but like totally.
No, that's not Chris Boers, dude.
Again, but
okay,
it's not
yeah,
a Home Improvement by.
because
I
like
don't know.
the thing about Chris Boers is like he did a stream like about a year ago or something where he's like, oh yeah, I do remember Game Dude. He was spamming my channel and stuff like that. So he remembers that much about him. But we
Right,
just
but I don't think he actually talked to it, or else he would legit like.
Joke is hilarious.
That doesn't look like it's Chris Boers, but I'll ask him.
okay, yeah, I would appreciate that.
But
Yeah.
yeah, he's kind of like me in that, you know, you'll give him a detail and then suddenly you'll jog his memory again.
Yeah, because like Andrew was saying that like there was this big controversy, which I didn't even know was not Chris Boers until recently, but when Chris Boers said something about Jew Wario when he died, and then
yeah, that was
like,
not him.
yeah,
That
exactly. A lot of like up until yesterday, I thought that was him. So
Oh no, yeah, that was not him. I can tell you that was not him.
yeah, so I think that this might be from the same Facebook account that happened to, but
Yeah. And Alex was very easy to dupe, so I mean
yeah, that's true.
I'm also looking at the writing pattern, and that does not look like the way Chris Boers writes. So
He also misspelled Mike Matei, but Mike Matty.
yeah, yeah. Chris Boers isn't. He's many things. I know that we all see him as this big dopey guy, but he knows how to spell Mike Matei's name. He's had
Yeah.
enough run-ins with the guy to know.
It's the same thing with Game Dude. Like he's very professional in the way he types, just because he wants that kind of like. It's like, oh, I'm very punctual.
And just the picture is wrong. You know, I'm comparing, and yeah, that's to me that does not seem like it's him. But God, this troll comment.
Okay, new microphone now. That is
New microphone. You need to get a new microphone.
Oh God, I remember later in that video when you talk about the peach bitch thing, and he's like, he clearly says beach, and then he's like, that's the joke. Like me and my friends would always say that to each other when we were younger. We would always go, that's the joke. It's based off of this response. It was so funny.
Because yeah, in his original, he actually says peach bitch. More like Peach's fantasy dickland. You're like, dude, why did you say peach bitch? That's the joke. If that's the joke, then it's a bad joke. It's not correctly structured like a joke. Game dude. For peach bitch to be a funny joke, there would have to be some sort of reference to bitch or dog or something. You can't just go peach bitch and like, oh, see, it says peach beach and I said peach bitch. That's the joke. You're like, ooh.
It's like some Tim and Eric shit, but without the delivery.
Exactly. It's like, okay. Like, if you have to explain your joke, then it's not a joke anymore, is it? This guy. Well, I know what I'm doing for the rest of the afternoon.
Oh yeah, that was my night last night. It's just
just
the
gonna grab some
nostalgia just
popcorn.
came in.
I am too. I am too. Right after this.
And being the super nostalgic guy that I am, this is definitely going to hit me in the feels, and in the funny bone at the same time.
It's not just that
anyway,
too,
I
because he
guess
doesn't.
I should shut up so that my baby can stop crying too. Although I doubt he's going to.
Well, yeah. I guess on that note, thank you again. Like, wow,
thanks.
so much information.
Yeah, I really appreciate it too, Asa.
But they can't be because
Yeah.
you don't use it.
Yeah, the if they say they're uploaded by me, they're bullshitting. So.
No. You're remembering ebooks. You're when you guest starred on Razorfist show.
Yeah.
a Beezer parody, and the Sad Tale of Blizzard Guy.
Uh,
They're all here.
Send me a link to that, Sue. I want to see if I possibly know that person. A lot of my ex fans, I guess, like to re-upload my shit because they're worried that I'm just gonna disappear someday. They don't know I'm always lurking in the shadows. Well, it was a pleasure to meet you two.
Oh yeah, of
Hit
course.
me up
Same
anytime.
here.
Same here.
If you ever need to know about guys from that era, I'm most likely either hanged out with them, made fun of them, or both, or
Yeah.
became an enemy.
Well, I'll definitely be sure to reach out if I have any more questions.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Same here.
And
Alright.
yeah, likewise. Here, let me send you a friend request, Blinky. There you go. Now we can. But yeah, definitely hang out anytime. My door's always
appreciate
open.
that. Yeah. It's.
Certainly.
And if I don't know it, I can definitely get you in contact with a guy who does.
It's pretty great because, like, in the past week, I've been talking to people like I've been watching for years, like you and June and Game Dude Official. Like, all of this is just happening in such a short succession.
Yeah, chances are, if I don't know them, I know the person who knows them, because that was my business back in the day. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I even hanged out with I always joked that I was good at making other people famous except for myself, and I think that always held true. Because look at Razorfist now.
Yeah, that's very true. Razorfist is doing very well for himself.
Look at JonTron. Like, yeah, I used to hang out and play poker with JonTron, and he became big, and I didn't. Razorfist, he became big, and I didn't. I was good at making other people famous, just not myself.
I think in a way it kind of made me famous too by because I've made so much videos on Game Dude and you were very heavily involved with that already.
Oh,
so.
definitely. Definitely.
Like I said, I can make anybody famous, just not myself.
Yeah.
That's why I like Batsmaru. That's why I identify with Batsmaru. Cinema Roll, he becomes famous. Batsmaru, not quite so. But yeah, hit me up whenever, guys. I'm an open book, and I love to shoot the shit.
Thanks,
Yeah,
appreciate
sure
it, man.
I'll catch you guys later.
Yeah,
Take
have
care,
a good
guys.
one.